It's been at least a week, maybe even a little longer than a week since we filmed with Bella. As you can see, a lot has changed here. We're into just getting into December. We've had some temperatures go cold for about the last month, and we just got our first real good dump of snow here. And so I'm going to be really honest. We haven't done a whole lot. I haven't done a whole lot with Bella outside of just everyday stuff, meaning she's living in the house, she's on her place, she's in her kennel, she's traveling with me. We've been deer hunting quite a bit. Yeah, probably not a ton, but enough. She spent quite a bit of time with us in camp, just basically doing what our other dogs do while we're deer hunting, on their place, in their kennels, or with us. So not a lot of big strides forward with her. I would say that we haven't taken a lot of steps backwards, although I have noticed probably a few things that have faded a little bit, and I've become not a little bit, probably to the point where I'm going, nah, we need to start working on this a little bit more. On lead, she's real good, and that's positive. I need to start getting her to transfer that off lead. Part of the reason she hasn't is because I haven't asked her too much. One of the things that I have found in her is she has over the last 3 or 4 weeks, I think it's a combination of elevated energy. We have not been running her nearly as much. She's got some pent up energy. So she gets excited, and I think a lot of that is physical, but I think some of it is mental too. She just gets a little stimulated, she gets a little excited, she gets to the point where she kind of she boils over, and so I've been just working on her with that, and trying to, when it happens, not overreact to it, call her back to me, get her back under control. She's typically pretty solid by herself. Some of the struggles that I've seen is when the other dogs are around, her ability to focus has been a little bit lacking. So I'm going to start working probably with, and it's not so much that I shouldn't say work with her and the other dogs. I'm going to start requiring her to be with me under a lot of control when the other dogs are around. The other dogs, I let them do their own thing a lot. I let our older dogs kind of free run a little bit, only because I know that if I want them to come to me, I have the level of control over them that I can say, Spry here, Ellie here, Taylor here, and they're right here. The distractions around don't get in the way. With her, if the other dogs are out there and I say, Bella here, I don't stand a chance. She's with the other dogs and she is completely blocking me out. And I don't want that habit to form, because I think that can then translate into other distractions being stronger than my commands. So what I'm going to start doing is not letting her free run with those dogs. Instead, she's going to be with me under control. One thing that she has gotten better at is you can see that the tail from the adjustable leader is hanging down, and she's not so obsessed with picking that up and carrying it. Sit. She still likes to retrieve like crazy. She still loves to pick things up like crazy. She's getting past that tail hanging. So I have been able to let her heel off lead with that, and I'm going to do that today. And we're going to see if that doesn't stay out of the way of her attention. Now you see me, she started to get a little antsy, so I got going with this. You know, that's probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 minutes of just sitting there doing nothing, talking, and then she starts to fade. It's about her attention span right now. To do that. So I'm going to be working on extending that as well. Now I'm going to extend that in everyday scenarios, everyday settings. A lot of this session is going to be her doing that, and I'll change things. So I'll move, I'll throw something, I'll kind of reset the situation, but I'm going to be really working on her attention to her steadiness and her patience. I'm going to get a little bit closer to her. I'm going to pitch this dummy. You can see that almost got to be too much. Sit, sit. Good. Good. Probably probably something that we haven't done enough of. And part of it is because for quite a while we weren't retrieving. And I think it's a real fine line, steadying up young dogs. I think it's a real fine line. I think for a long time in my training, I almost steadied them up too much when they were real young. And that was something I did because I was afraid, because I had seen and I knew way too many dogs that weren't steady. And I had had dogs myself that weren't steady. And so once I started understanding the importance of that steadiness and understanding how habit forming how habitual it was, and realizing how quickly you can form a habit of steadiness if you're consistent, I started doing it probably when they were a little too early, a little too young. And what I did was I think I took them and I got them to be not as confident as I wanted them to be down the road. It took a little bit more building of their confidence later down the road. So I didn't 180 that and go, well, let's just let them be wild and break to build up drive and enthusiasm for retrieve, because I definitely think that's the wrong route. I'd rather err on the side of steady than not. But there was a time when I probably steadied them up a little bit more than I needed to. With her, heel, heel. So you can just see how sloppy that heel work is off lead. So I'm gonna put her on the lead. We have been popping to that little sit to the whistle we've been working on. I'm going to take the adjustable leader, I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to get a hold of it so that I can get it back behind her neck here. Heel. Heel. Come on, come on. This is where we hang up. Come on, come on. Our turns are where we hang up off lead. She gets to the point where she wants to. I'm going to swipe my foot under her nose if she's going to put it down to the ground. Nice little adjustment. Good. You saw me change my pace and she adjusted. Good. Come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. There's that hang up. Come on, come on. Give her a little tap. Come on. Good. Good. Come on. Good. Now when I turn into her, we don't have that issue. Good. Come on. 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 Good. Good. Come on. Come on. Good. 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 So you can see how poorly she is in position. So it's frustrating to me, but I'm also sitting here thinking to myself and going, I'm glad it's on camera because I haven't worked on it much. We haven't done much of it. So then all of a sudden we come out and we're filming and we go, well, and I'm going, let's start working on a little bit of off lead work. Well, there's what happens when you don't do it for a while and then you jump into it off lead. It's not going to look very good. Heck, her on lead work isn't even that good right now. And I haven't been very picky with it day to day. That's unacceptable right there. So if I can't get her to turn and respond well on lead, how would I ever have a chance off lead? So two things are going to have to happen here if I want to get her where I want to get her off lead. On a nice straightaway, no problem. And we have been doing that. She keeps a nice pace with me. So if I just want to take a walk down to the mailbox, I don't have a real issue with it. I can stop and she checks with me. Good. Heel. I can bump her and she'll move out. But when I want to start getting into some footwork stuff, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Like this, Here, here, here. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Here. Here. Right here. Come on. So, she got wind of something and went, forget about it. So, the nice part about it was her recall to the whistle is pretty good. Now, if I want to get good at this stuff, a couple things are going to have to happen. Ben and I will have to film a lot more consistently. And so part of it with our schedule, we're going to have to just make it work. Because that's part of why it was so good early on too, was we were really consistent. We're filming just about every day when we first got her. And I was really picky and particular about everything I got out of her. And then things just got busy and we became less consistent. And we didn't really keep our foot on the gas as far as pushing for perfection. So one of the things I'm doing right now is I'm writing an article about how good isn't good enough. And part of this series is called Bella Be Good. Well, what's going to end up happening is we're going to talk about good's not good enough. Good will get you really average results. And most people are pretty happy with that. And that's okay. I mean, it all depends on what your expectations are. I don't want them to be okay. I want them to be really good. Like, I want them to be really, really, really good. And so in order to do that, we have to be picky. We have to ask for them to be perfect. And they're gonna have to be perfect the great majority of the time. And you can kind of see too how my tone and everything we've done in this session has changed just recently. And I think you can see everything about her body language has changed. She got her little free run in there. And I wasn't real thrilled about it. Now, I don't think she doesn't realize that or know that, because I think she can feel it in the end of this leash. Good. But in order for me to go off lead with her the way I want to, that sloppiness right there, we can't have. That's how good it's got to be right there. Good. Too sloppy. Good. That wasn't the best turn, but it was a good response. She responded quickly. Good. That was a nice one. Good. Good. Her eyes are nice. They're right at me. Her ears are laid back. Her tail wags. Not real fast, not real high. She's paying attention. It's just her footwork isn't very good, and her footwork isn't very good because she hasn't been practicing. So if you're a basketball player and you don't play you can be a really good basketball player. If you don't play for a while, the minute you step back in the gym, you're pretty rusty. No matter how good her footwork was. Good. Good. Heel. And look at her nose go up. Good. Good. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Here, here. Come on. We're not gonna ask her, we're gonna tell her. Here, here. Here, here, here. Good. Come on. Good. Good dog. Sit. Good. 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 In the past, I've gotten into a little bit of a pinch throwing it over the top of her. Good. Good. But the last 5 to 10 minutes of this session have taken on a much more serious tone. And the results have been better. They're not great, but they're better. And so what I need to do and recognize too is with her, and this is her personality, asking her to do things sometimes is the way to do it. Encouraging her to do things sometimes is the way to do it. Sit. Especially when they're new. But what I probably got caught up in there a little bit was I was asking her to do things that she should have known how to do. She didn't do it because I was asking. I wasn't telling her. So as soon as I got a little more firm and a little more serious and meant it a little bit more, she performed a little bit better. Instead of asking the favor, tell her what to do. It's just a difference in tone and mannerism and meaning it or not. And so I try to be their friend. I don't need to be a dictator. I don't need to be a jerk. I want them to be my friend, but I also need them to respect me. And so I think there's a big difference between them being your buddy and listening to you the way they should. Good. Especially in training. When it's something new, I might have to get a little more encouraging and asking and kind of building up to get her to do it. But if it's something she knows how to do, and you could tell she knew when she ran off like that, she knew that wasn't right. When she came back to me after blowing on the whistle, she halfway was expecting me to be a little bit upset. You could tell by your body language. Now, I'm not going to flip out on her, but I'm also not going to continue to do what we were doing because that wasn't working. So I got a little bit firmer, enough to get a change. That's what I always say is you have to get strong enough to get a change. If you get a little bit firmer but not firm enough to get a change, it's not going to work. You don't have to go over the top, but you have to be strong enough to change your behavior, to change your attitude about this session, to get her to be able to get something out of it. I think she got something out of it towards the end. The beginning was a cluster. Belly heel. Sit. Belly heel. Good. 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 So that's it for now. Now I have been making a few retrieves with her. Most of them have been big memories. Sit down. Good. You see she gets a little squirrely when she gets excited about the retrieve. She loves to retrieve. Most of them have been big memories. Big meaning 100 plus, 150, 200. Some of them have been out close to 200-yard memories. I do 1 or 2 a session maybe, and I maybe build it in twice a week. So she hasn't made many retrieves since we last filmed. She's probably made less than 10 retrieves since we last filmed, but they've all been nice, meaningful retrieves, not meaningless. We don't retrieve just to get exercise. We don't retrieve just to retrieve. Her delivery has been pretty nice. The last couple times that we filmed, she was running by me a little bit. The last few retrieves that she has made, her delivery has been nice. She hasn't gotten so excited that she overruns. I'm not even going to do it today because I don't want to end it on anything but positive. I feel like she's concluded the last half of this session under pretty good up here in her head. So we're going to leave it at that, and we're just going to look at it and go, okay, got to be more consistent. I got to be more consistent. I got to expect probably a little bit more out of her performance-wise with things that she knows how to do. The stuff that she knows how to do, she should be doing pretty perfectly. And if not, then we got to take steps backwards. So that's it for today. I think that's a good session. Quite honestly, wasn't sure how it would go just because it's been a while. I think it was good to show that. I think it was good to show that she's sloppy at times. She makes mistakes just like everybody else makes. How do you respond to them? What do you do with them when they happen? You just adjust when it happens. So I think it was a good session.
Drive home, and I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned